And we are back with another episode of If We Speak, We're in Trouble.
What?
No. And this is episode 6, you know. What type of position is that, Mr. Tactics?
It's a DM.
It's a DM, you know, the kind of DM we love. The defensive midfielder.
It's the DM, wait, what?
Hey, what? So, guys, before we even begin, who are your favorite number 6s?
Oh, that's a very interesting way to start. I'm gonna go straight off the bat. A forgotten baller. Let's do Paul Pogba.
Paul Pogba.
Okay,
Damn.
Paul Pogba is
He
like
never play a 6, bro.
he never plays a 6, but his number is 6. Yeah, so like I'm going with Paul
This
Pogba.
one with the alternative takes from the start.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, no, and I want to
didn't answer the question properly.
I want to remind everyone that Paul Pogba is coming back finally
Back.
after he was cleared from his doping ban. We will never know whether it's true or not, but he is somebody that I think is massively. He can be both overrated and underrated at the same time.
That's true.
And
Yeah, right.
he's like 31, I think, and he has like a couple of good years left. So let's see what he can do.
Will Paul Pogba actually be popped back?
Again, Pogba for the second time in his
Pogba.
career, right? Because
Yeah.
that was the
Yes,
whole.
no?
I don't think so.
I have no
man.
idea. I literally have no idea. Yeah.
Fifth?
I doubt it.
I'm a doubter too. But we wish Paul Pogba well. He's definitely a streets will never forget kind of player. Banger.
Yeah.
In our memories, in our hearts. We wish you all the best.
What
Fifth?
kind of tribute? Relax, bro.
Hey, no way, bro.
Relax, bro.
You make it sound like you just had like massive surgery or something. Came back for cancer or something.
Okay, fifth. Your favorite number 6.
My favorite number 6 is Xabi Alonso.
Xabi Alonso.
that's
By
class.
Leverkusen manager.
That's class.
Absolute class. I love the way he smacks the ball.
He beautiful, right?
Amazing.
Okay, but quick fire question: better manager or better player?
Bro, he's at like 2 seasons.
As in,
Currently,
Yeah.
better player.
Better player, 100%.
at the peak,
At the current-
peaks.
Better player.
You don't know his
No,
peak as a
I don't
manager
think-
yet, so
yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
don't
say
think
better
you
player.
You can't compare
I mean,
peaks.
not treble lah, but unbeaten. I hot take here.
Yeah.
Xabi Alonso had one good season with Liverpool. It was the season where Liverpool was going to win the league. Before that, he was a bit anonymous and average. Rafa Benitez wanted to replace him with freaking Gareth Barry.
But to be fair, he played most of his career at the top of his level at Real Madrid anyway. So
I don't even think like he was that irreplaceable at both Real Madrid or Bayern.
well, but you just
Or
asked me
even
which one's my favorite though.
Spain for that matter.
No, but Spain, you're comparing to the likes of like
Xavi.
yeah, right.
Iniesta.
Yeah, so like
Busi,
those
bro.
are the best. Like that's like top. Okay, I'm not even
This
going
guy.
there. Like top 10 Spanish midfielders of all time, right?
True,
like
true,
that's
true.
the era that he was playing in. So like it's difficult lah. Even Cesc Fabregas doesn't compare to like those guys. What? Right?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
true.
A young
Yeah, man
Cesc
got pushed to
Fabregas.
striker, bro.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it's okay. Like it doesn't matter. He won the World Cup anyway. So
I mean, not
Cheers.
wrong.
yeah,
Got assaulted by Nigel de Jong in the final.
that's crazy.
Wait,
Assaulted.
but Xabi Alonso, banger of a player.
Yeah.
I still think better manager than player, but okay.
Okay. What about you, Shibi?
My favorite number 6 has to be the Chelsea legend himself, Cloud Makelele.
Cloud.
Cloud, bro. He
Oh my
is
God.
Do you even watch him when he was playing?
he is the position. Of course, bro. Him
Claude Makelele
at
is
the bottom of
number
the
6.
diamond. Super Frankie Lampard to the left.
He always finds some way to link it back to Super Frankie Lampard. Like
yeah,
we'll have
it's
any.
been 6 episodes.
Yeah, I think he's mentioned
Frankie.
he's mentioned Lampard in at least like 3 or 4 episodes. Yeah,
Okay, but,
Which is
but
crazy.
Cloud Makelele, they named it the Makelele role.
I mean,
Without
yeah,
him, Real Madrid just like flew away in their Galactico era. So I think perfect. Cloud Makelele, best number 6. All agree?
Fair enough.
no, but I mean sure. Yeah, sure. You can have your take. It's fine.
Okay. So
Probably the best one is still Busquets, though, to be fair. But we're
I-
just
maybe
naming
Ballon
our
d'Or
favourites.
this year. Rodri.
No, definitely not, right? Because he's got an ACL injury and he's out, right?
Yeah, bro, it's gonna be Vinny.
Yeah, it might be Vinny, actually.
Maybe.
Yeah, it might
I
be
mean,
Vinny.
we will discuss that maybe for another day. Maybe
Yeah.
for a Ballon d'Or themed episode.
Yeah,
Not too far in the future.
yeah.
But yeah, so we are back for our first episode of the season. A little bit late, but sometimes life happens, things happen. But the good thing is we now have some sort of data points to talk about,
Yeah.
Hopefully our predictions here will be decent. So just a bit of an agenda for today's episode. Today is all about predictions. We're going to be telling you our takes, what we think is going to happen in the season today, and just a few fun discussing points.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Perfect. Okay, so so far so good. How are your thoughts on the season so far, Bang?
I hate this season.
Yeah, me too.
Game's gone.
Games gone.
Game's gone. Game's absolutely gone. Yeah,
Quick elaboration.
Yeah.
Well,
quick
La Liga
Afif.
game is going to be played in the US, which
Oh,
is
game's gone.
I
Game's
don't
gone.
understand it. Like, why?
Understood.
What's
Yeah.
the point of it being a Spanish league game if it's gonna be in the US.
Yeah.
Like
There's clearly a lot of like commercially like motivated reasoning behind all of these kind of
True,
things,
true,
right?
true,
Like
true.
there's really no need for you to add another away fixture for both teams to travel in
Yeah.
amidst an already congested.
I remember the Prem wanted
the
to do
jet lag.
something like that like a while back, but I think they got scrapped. Like game 39.
Do you guys remember
Pre-season, like 1 week after the season ended, then like Spurs play in
So-
Australia.
something like that? Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Against another Prem team like Newcastle or something like
Yeah.
that
that.
was weird,
yes.
bro.
Yeah, that's so weird.
You guys remember like a couple of seasons ago there was the Super League that was like they wanted to like group the like
The
the most
debacle.
elite 20 teams
Oh, yeah,
in
yeah,
Europe
yeah,
to
yeah.
like kind of break away,
Yeah.
right? Like and then like everybody was protesting that.
Mm.
So that got shut down and then like it just manifested itself in like a different form. So like now there's a new Champions League.
Yeah,
format
exactly.
as
More or less is like
it's more or less the same,
The same
It's
thing,
more or
right,
less
yeah.
the same thing, you know. They
Okay,
just repackaged it in a
that's true.
different
That's
way.
true.
Right? So
So, games gone.
yeah, no, for me the game's gone.
Game's
What
gone.
about the
Yeah.
football itself?
What about the football? I mean, the football is the football, you know, like it's always
football is football. Right?
yeah.
Banger.
Yeah, it's been a banger. It's been a roller coaster season already, right? There's a lot of controversy.
Yeah,
as
we're
we
only
ex-
like 9 games in so far.
yeah, we're only
That's
9
mad.
games in. We're not even finished with game week 9, so like
Oh,
yeah.
so exciting, right? I think, and talking about exciting things, right?
Yeah.
Although we hate international football, I just want to end off the introduction with one little tidbit. Thoughts on a German man managing England.
Oh
Tommy
wow.
T.
Tommy T.
Tommy T.
Tommy.
What do you think, Afif? Thomas Tuchel, is he the right man for the job?
I mean, to be fair, England have had their history of non-English managers
True,
leading
true,
the
but-
national team anyway.
Yeah.
With, Sven Goran Eriksson.
Yes.
So
yes.
R.I.P.
it's not
Respect.
anything new to them.
Yeah.
And the English managers that they've had in charge of them so far haven't been super successful also.
I'm gonna
And-
say like they've been they've been so mean.
I mean,
They
Yeah.
have been so
And right
two
now that-
finals, Mr. GS.
No, he's been carried by his players, to be fair. Gareth Southgate.
Mr. Two finals.
Listen, okay, let me talk. Gareth Southgate is
Let me talk.
Let me talk. Gareth Southgate is literally Mr. Anti-football. He is so negative with the amount of attacking players that he has at his disposal, right? It's embarrassing.
Yeah, this coming from an Arsenal fan.
Yeah, it is embarrassing. You know,
I understand.
yeah, like okay. So before him was who? Was it like Hodgson? Was it Roy Hodgson?
2016 they got knocked out by Iceland. Was that Roy Hodgson?
I can't remember.
Should be lah.
I can't remember. So, but my point is right. Like, I think the problem with English media and English football, right, is they have too much pride. You know, like
Yeah.
they believe themselves to be like a football powerhouse, right? But none of the they don't have anything to show for it, and now they can't take like a German manager becoming the national team coach. For all you know, right, like Thomas Tuchel is gonna go absolutely crazy with the talent that he has, right, and he's gonna bring them to like a good place, and then everybody's gonna switch sides. So like that's
Exactly.
lame.
I mean
think that's
that might be the case, but I think Tommy T. If you're talking about anti-football, he's the master.
lame. Really.
Yeah.
I mean, you would know lah better than
Yeah,
most, right? So
he did bring Chelsea a Champions League, and he might bring England a
He's
trophy.
well
but-
known for his knockout football.
Yeah, knockout football
Special
tactics,
team,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, we will see. We'll see. It remains to be seen if Tommy T is really the man for England. I mean, the fact of the matter is England and Germany has such a deep footballing rivalry.
Yeah.
So that is why there is this whole uproar. It's like Singapore getting like a Malaysian manager.
I suppose
like
that's
maybe
that's
like
fair.
in not like now not no one really cares, but like 20 years ago when the Malaysian Cup was like damn big,
Yeah.
Mm, mm,
right?
yeah,
Then
probably.
it is similar vibe, you know. Then
Okay,
like people be
okay.
like, huh, Malaysian.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
I mean, to
Yeah.
be fair, there aren't really any other good English managers that are available right now.
I would throw in like
Unless
maybe
you're
a
talking
bit
about
of
Potter or
a
something.
Yeah, who
Potter
would
or
you
Eddie,
like?
Eddie Howe. Or
Eddie
Potter.
Howe or Graham
Yeah,
Potter.
but is he
Yeah.
really available though, Eddie Howe?
That's the thing, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So okay, so we have some thoughts on
yeah.
that.
Good thoughts to start the episode.
Yeah. So next up, we are gonna do our predictions, top 6 and bottom 3, and we'll see you guys in a bit. And we are back with the main part of the episode. Today we're gonna be doing some predictions. The favorite part of the
Oh
year.
my God.
When things are new, things are fresh, and the hottest of takes are coming out. So just
Okay.
let's just take a step back here, guys.
Yeah.
Alright?
Yeah. Okay.
Last year we did some predictions. Some people did a bit better than others. I see across the board. I mean, for a footballing podcast, I think we did not too bad lah. But who amongst the three of us actually won? I mean, I don't think it's me. Let me just put my hands up. Probably not me. But which one of you two actually won last year?
I only won the Euros.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I won.
But
I
you
won.
won-
you
yeah.
won
No.
the
Yeah. I
Euros.
won.
So-
I won, yeah.
Let's have the winner start first. Today, as per usual, we're gonna give our top 6, our bottom 3. Those going Europe and those going down. Sif, carry on.
Okay, thank you very much. What an interesting and very zesty intro. Thank you for that. Yeah, let's get straight into it. We have at the time of this recording, right, we've had about 8 games.
8 games, right?
Yeah,
So
we've played 8 game weeks already. So I think we like to say that we are in a better position to
I hope so.
yeah
We
to,
hope so.
to predict who will finish where.
Didn't we do it last year, like midway point, like pretty close to midway, right?
No, I don't think so. I
No,
think
we did at the start.
Yeah, we did it at the start actually.
Yeah,
Right at the start, or was it like similar? I think.
I think probably like four game weeks in.
Okay.
Yeah, 4 game weeks.
So
in.
let's hope we are twice as good this time with 8 game weeks.
Yeah, I highly doubt it, but let's give it a shot anyways.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. So I'm going to start off by saying, right, as an Arsenal fan, right.
Arsenal fan.
I'm going to say that Arsenal are not going to win the league this season, and
Betrayal.
whatever it is. No, as in like as a very objective,
Analytical football mind.
right, as a spectator and an enjoyer of the sport, right? Like you've seen how the season has unfolded, right? The fact of the matter is, whether you call it fate, corruption, or just sheer bad luck, right? Arsenal have played 3 of the 8 games so far with 1 man less, right? And that takes a toll on you. On top of that, we've lost Odegaard for coming to a total of 11 games in the season,
Yeah.
which includes 2 crucial games against Man City and Liverpool, our biggest rivals for the title, right? And on top of that, I think it's all come at a really bad time for us, to be fair.
Is Odegaard your most important player?
Odegaard and Saka, I think those two are like indispensable to
And
what
Saliba, bro.
to what happens moving forward, and then Saliba in terms of what happens going backwards defensively.
Unfortunate, Arsenal.
Correct. And we've just lost too much ground. So like a couple of hours from now, Arsenal are going to play Liverpool, and depending on how that game goes, right, Arsenal could be out of the title race by the end of tonight. Yeah, so I'm going to say at this, like, right off the bat, Arsenal are not going to win the league. So my top 6 in order from first to 6th, right? I
Or
believe.
do you want to do it like, the other way around?
No, I'm gonna go top to bottom.
Okay.
So I think that the champions are going to be Man City again.
Why?
And then wait, let me finish, bro. Arsenal in dude, he does not let me have
Why?
any. It's like
Why?
It's like that kid in class that's
Yeah,
ADHD.
why the everything?
Why?
It's gonna cut into every sentence we say, guys.
So it's gonna be Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool. In 4th, I think it's gonna be Aston Villa. In 5th, Shibi, you're gonna like this. It's Chelsea, and in 6th, right, I think it's gonna be Nottingham Forest.
Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, it's gonna be Nottingham Forest. So
Damn,
I'm gonna
my
go
man.
from top to bottom, and then
Okay,
like
okay.
I'll let you guys chime in on what you guys think about my take, right? Yeah. So like, because I feel like Arsenal could have had a good chance had the different reasons not happened, but this is where we are, and football happens, right? Man City, although like they don't have Kevin De Bruyne for large parts of the start of the season, and on top of that, Rodri has been ruled out with an ACL injury for the
For
rest
the
of the season.
whole season.
Yeah, for the whole season, which I think is a big blow.
Yeah.
At the moment, what I've seen from City is a champion's mentality. They always find a way to get the result, right? Regardless of who it is on the pitch, whether it's Jeremy Doku or whether it's John Stones. Like, they have winners all around, and they've brought Gundogan back, which I think is invaluable to the way that they used to play when he was still around. And now that he's back, he's just bags of experience again. So yeah, I think it's just a champion's mentality that's going to take them across the line. Between Arsenal and Liverpool, right? I want to say that Liverpool look really, really good. I have to give credit where credit is due. I think Slot's done an amazing job, but I've not seen them come up against a proper opponent. I'm looking forward to the game tonight to see how Slot maneuvers a team that knows how to defend resolutely, as well as pose problems on the counter and on the offensive end, right? So that remains to be seen. But I'm not going to take anything away from what I've seen from Liverpool this season, which is nothing short of really, really impressive for a transitionary period. This is Slot's first season, his first 8 games with the team.
Doesn't even look transitionary, right? It looks like he's been there for years.
Yeah, but let's wait and see for the litmus test tonight, right? Let's see how they do against Arsenal. In 4th spot, right? Like, and very clear of 5th and 6th, I think Aston Villa have only
Very clear.
like no, as in no offense to like 5th
Chelsea.
and 6th, but like Aston Villa are very good, and we have to give them credit, because after losing Douglas Luiz to one of the strangest deals that I've ever seen in my life, which is like a weird couple double swap thing with Juventus, right? They've recruited quite well. They've got Amadou Onana, not Andre Onana, into midfield, who's like
That's not my name, mate.
right? And they've also got John Duran, who's not a new signing, but he feels like it because
Yeah.
like he's kind of announced himself as
My-
the
my-
clutch player.
My man is sounding
Crazy.
like Arsene Wenger with the feels like a new signing kind of vibe.
Without holding.
And
I'm sorry, it doesn't cost 50 million.
Yeah. You know, so like I think all around, right, Aston Villa and the way that Unai has set his team up is a team that is very confident in the way that they play. And I think they will continue to go far, as much as I hate to say it. Yeah.
Hate to say it.
Yeah, I hate to say I don't like Aston Villa. I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible. But I really, really hate Aston Villa. Like I hate Unai
Is it because
Emery.
they are the bogey team for Arsenal as well?
Yeah.
Other than this season, of course. I mean,
Yeah, like
Arsenal
last
did
last
kinda-
season we dropped points against them like for no reason. If we didn't, we would have won the league. Simple as that.
Unai ball.
Yeah. In fifth, Chelsea and Maresca are balling out. I think that they have been very, very impressive. More so than Pochettino in the entirety of last season.
True.
That is a fact. They have only gone and spent even more ridiculous amounts of cash
okay.
on great players, great offensive options. You've
Yeah.
got Neto, you've got Sancho, you've got Mudryk. Okay, he's not really class, but you've got
João Felix.
Felix, you got Nkunku. You've got Nicholas Jackson, who is Shibi's best striker in the league, apparently.
Most underrated player. Never mind. I'll say more later.
Yeah, he will say more later. So, I really like the look of that Chelsea team, and I think they actually have like a structure
Exactly.
and a play style, right? Last season, we talked about big teams always have a style of play, like they always assert themselves in games,
Yeah.
and I feel like Chelsea do that
Yeah.
more now.
Finally, they,
Yeah.
they stop being just Eden Hazard and vibes. Or like,
Correct.
Yeah.
They are still some way away from where Aston Villa are. Aston Villa are probably like 1 or 2 steps ahead of where they are right now,
Okay.
but I think Chelsea have a good case for fifth. And I think my most alternative and from the left field take is Nottingham Forest in sixth. I don't know how you guys feel about Forest, but from what I've seen, right, I'm just going to take everyone back to the game that they played against Liverpool. Forest won that game eventually 1-0.
Yeah.
And that is, I think, Liverpool's only loss this season, which is to Nottingham Forest.
True.
That game, Nuno set his team up to be very defensively disciplined in the first half, very, very like compressed and very difficult to break down. In the second half, he swapped both of his wide players for 2 speedy guys in Ilanga, as well as Callum Hudson-Odoi, Chelsea legend.
Chelsea legend.
Chelsea
let's
legend
go.
had to acknowledge that. And
Legend.
yeah, and Hudson-Odoi eventually scored the winner on the breakaway.
Banger.
Yeah. So I feel like with all of these different attacking assets, right? Add in Morgan Gibbs-White, which is I think quite a standout captain for his young age. On top of that, Chris Wood, who's finding like a second win in his career, right?
Bro, he revives.
Oh,
He's actually
what is
revived,
going on?
right?
Bro,
Like,
what do
no
you
one-
mean? Bro, he's just born, bro. What revive,
That's
bro?
the
Never
thing.
seen him as good as this in my life.
That's the thing. That's the thing. You see, so like I'm all for the underdog story, and I would love for a team like Nottingham Forest to make it to like European football. So I'm backing them.
Nottingham
Sixth
Forest
place.
is footballing heritage. 2-time Champions League winner.
That's true. Don't forget. So
Twice
yeah,
as many as Arsenal.
that is
Twice as many. Bro, Arsenal 0. Bro.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
that's
It's
two
two
more.
more.
There's 2 more.
It's 2 more.
Infinite times
bad.
as many.
Never was good at math.
Yeah, so I feel like I've spoken a lot, but that's in essence where I feel like the top 6 is gonna be.
I think
Fair
those are very well reasoned takes. I just want your thoughts on a few of the people that you
That I
might have.
excluded.
Yeah, your honorable mentions or
Yes.
those that you excluded.
Yes,
you know?
yes.
For example, like maybe
United, Spurs.
United,
Spurs, right?
Newcastle, etc.
Okay, I'll speak about Spurs. I feel like what I've seen. Okay, I'll speak about Spurs and United,
Mm.
and I feel like they both suffer from similar problems in terms of like not being able to replicate a consistent level of performance. And I think that it's quite sad because first Spurs, they have a really good manager who's very clear about the direction of football, like his vision for football of the team.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like the mentality of the players there is not. It's not like a big 6 club.
Spurs do be Spursy.
Yeah,
eh?
I feel like they lack the mentality. I feel like they lack the mentality, and even more so since the departure of Harry Kane. I feel
Yeah.
like if it's anyone in that team that had the hunger, the desire, and the resoluteness to be
Yeah.
a champion, it was Kane. Son is a nice guy. I'm not criticizing him as a
Son's a nice guy.
Yeah, no.
That's all you have to say about Son. Damn, man.
Close personal friend again.
Well, you got nothing to compliment about the player. He's a nice guy.
The
Yeah,
most
no.
generic take, no, like the.
Dude, I'm not gonna pretend like I know the guy, but he looks nice in the interviews and such, right? So he's smiley, he's always good with the cameras and everything. So
Don't forget Andre Gomez leg break, bro.
yeah, that's true. That's
That's
true.
true,
But
that's
of
true,
course, I
that's
mean,
true.
like,
Yeah, it's
that
not
was
purpose.
it's not on purpose.
Not on
Um,
purpose, yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like Spurs don't have the mentality of a big club. That's for one. United are arguably in a bigger mess than Spurs are. To be fair, like I feel like they have a very delusional manager at the helm. He I don't know whether
Agreed.
he's intentionally or unintentionally papering over a lot of the cracks at the club, both from like at the squad level as well as like a board level.
Yeah.
That's my assessment of United, and it's kind of sad. Like I feel for the United guys, like the United fans, because like they've invested so much in what Eric Ten Hag wants, right?
Exactly. Like he got what he wanted. Like he got so many of his own players.
He got his whole ex-Ajax squad. He literally bought Ajax. He bought Ajax. Right? He bought all of his recruitments, right?
Yeah.
Bar one player. I think he's either an ex-Ajax player or a Dutch player.
Bro, even then he still had to play a right back at number 10 yesterday.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
So like
My man.
I don't have any words for him, and yeah, that's the reason why I don't think either of those two clubs deserve to be in the top 6. I feel like Nuno
Mm-hmm.
and Nottingham Forest are going to punch above their weight, and like I'm backing them. I'm just backing them.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
That's where I stand.
Okay, not too bad. I'm surprised that you're Nottingham Forest take
I know,
considering.
I know.
Usually you're pretty lukewarm. So today.
Usually I'm very sensible. Yeah. But like I felt like
chose
going,
violence today.
Yeah. No, it's not violence. I don't think anybody that watches Spurs and United can confidently say, yeah, those are top 6 clubs. You
Okay.
know?
Okay.
Right. So
I understand.
yeah.
Okay. Should I go next?
yes, you can.
I think I can. As the
Yeah.
moderator, let me show you the best.
Do what
takes.
you want, bro. Do what you want.
Okay. So, wait. We haven't gone with your bottom 3.
Yeah,
Do you wanna-
First,
Yeah,
Top
we can
six
do
first?
all the
Alright.
top 6. Yes.
Okay. So for me, my top 6, from 6 onwards, so 6 going up, I actually have Spurs in my 6th position.
Boo.
Boo. Spurs 6, Chelsea 5th, Villa 4th. Then in my top 3, so I think those 3 will be pretty close to each other and it'll be a fight for 4th. I wouldn't say that Villa will be like miles ahead, but I think they might just edge ahead. Then Arsenal 3rd, City 2nd, and then Arne Slot's Liverpool wins the league.
Okay.
Okay, so just let's take a step back and let me tell you why I think this will be. So for who I think will win the league, I think actually City and Liverpool and Arsenal will be in the title race all the way till maybe 5 games to go. Arsenal will be the first one out, mainly due to their lack of discipline, their many reds. They always think that the referee is against them.
I'm not going to respond to
I'm
it.
not going to say anything. Until my turn later.
Yeah. Keep going.
This one is that if we speak, we're in trouble. Kind of vibe.
Oh.
Okay, no. Jokes aside, I think Arsenal will fight for the title, but I just think that I think last season might have taken a toll on them because for 2 seasons in a row they had to do so much and then they still just fell short. So I think that they might burn out just a bit towards the end of the season this season. Although I do think that they will do pretty well in Europe. Then I think that it will actually go to between Liverpool and City. I just think 8 games in, City is playing too well. I usually City starts
I see what you mean though.
City starts like kind of loss here and there, probably a draw with Brentford. They always seem to draw or lose against Brentford here and there. And then they will suddenly go on their 20-game winning streak when then KDB comes back and then they will just win the rest of their games. Right? So I think one thing is they started too well. And secondly, I also think that when I've seen them play, there seems to be some sort of, I would say, fragility within City's backline. I think that their defense hasn't been as good as it usually is. And their control of the games also hasn't been as tight as it usually is. Actually, sometimes I would say that usually when you watch City, you kind of know what you get. You get City controlling the game, and you get teams sitting back and then seeing whether they can hit City on the counter. But I think this season, quite a few games, the games have been a bit more 50-50. I think City is starting to lose some control in the games, probably due to the fact that there is no more Rodri there. Also probably due to the fact that right now they are playing Doku and Savinho. So actually they have more attacking prowess there. But then I think they are with those two at the wings bombing up. I think they are lacking a bit more control in midfield. Gundogan coming back, I think is good. He can control the midfield well, but I don't think he's a very, very good replacement for Rodri. And I think expecting him to do Rodri's role will be very, very difficult. Gundogan is a very good box-to-box midfielder. But I think basically there is no replacement for Rodri. I think even if you push John Stones up,
That's the Aguero clip. That's
Yeah.
We
We
cannot.
but also I really think those two factors, because I think generally the City squad a bit older, a bit
They've just aged.
aged a bit.
Yeah.
Probably a little bit tired from being perfect again against Arsenal for a few seasons in a row. I honestly, if you asked me maybe 5 weeks ago, I would say Haaland is gonna flop this season, but
You always listen. You always say
every
Haaland is
season,
gonna
right?
flop. Then like he scores 2 hat-tricks in 5 games or something. Then like you just eat your own words. So like
yeah,
stop,
so I'm not gonna
stop
say
saying
that
that.
anymore.
Like
No,
stop
I'm not gonna say that
And
anymore.
proceeds to put him in his
like
FPL.
everyone, he's not listened to. He never listens. I don't understand.
Yeah,
He never learns.
But yeah, so actually he's been absolutely phenomenal this season. He's actually showing basically all criticisms I've had of him in terms of like how he cannot single-handedly lead a strike force or he cannot score goals by himself. He's basically already shut me up this season.
You know what? Actually, in the past few games, he's actually proven you right in that regard.
Yeah.
Without any sort of creativity behind him, he suffered in terms of making impact in the game because he's been crowded out by the defense.
No, that's
in the
true,
past
but
few games at least.
in the last game he did score the only goal.
Just because they
I
had
think
a
he's-
plethora of chances, bro.
I think
Ooh, plethora.
in the Champions League as well. I think the thing about Haaland this season that impressed me is that the types of goals he scored has changed a bit more. I got a feels of Ibra for him. Like he starts to score a bit more unorthodox goals. So I think like that elevates his game a little bit. Yeah, but in terms of, I think it's just his presence there that helps to open up space for the rest of City's players lah. Like in terms of, I think Savinho has been quite a revelation so far this season. I really like watching
Mahrez
him
regen.
play. Yeah, but okay, I'm not glazing City. I don't think they're gonna win the league.
Yeah.
So I don't know why I'm saying that. Yeah, so
So what is Liverpool going to be talking?
I think Liverpool has just shown a level of resilience, and I think their structure has been absolutely insane. Arne Slot, right, I rate him so much because when we talked about Ten Hag, right? He keeps saying he needs more time to imprint his play style on United. Arne Slot has done it in 8 games. Like there's a clear difference between the type of football that Arne Slot plays compared to Jurgen Klopp plays
Yes,
for
correct.
Liverpool.
Yeah, definitely.
Like there's a bit more control within Liverpool's game now. Last time it was a bit more heavy metal football when it comes to when Jurgen Klopp was in charge.
Yeah.
So in a sense, right, he's already imprinted himself on the team. He's showing, and Liverpool has been playing. I think they have been pacing themselves. I don't see them like destroying everyone, but they've just been slowly going along, getting results. They've lost a game, sure, against Nottingham Forest,
Yeah.
but I think the fact that they have consistently won games that perhaps could have been draws kind of just sets me up to think like, okay, I think they're going to win the league. And I think it also comes to like the mental freshness. I think they have a new manager. They are not so tied down with like old baggage of like old title races and everything, right? I think like they might just surprise everyone and win the league.
That's a good shout.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
Yeah, so Liverpool first.
Okay.
Exciting. Yeah. So now I'll discuss about my 4th, 5th, and 6th. You know what? After some more careful deliberation, I don't think Villa's gonna get 4th. It's gotta be Chelsea.
Okay.
I've gotta rep my own team, right?
Sure.
If not, like I'll be like you guys, not supporting Arsenal to win the league.
Who said? You haven't
Oh,
read my-
okay. I won't point anything.
That's a gun. Yeah.
Okay.
He spoke across the gun whenever he went.
I might take it.
Okay. Back to me. Back to
Back
Chelsea.
to you. Yeah, back to you.
All right. Chelsea will get 4th because they have shown really good improvement this season. I agree with most of your takes actually. Chelsea has been looking good. Whereas Cabal has been absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
Cole Palmer, PFA Player of the Season, 100%, confirmed plus chop.
Heard this
I
before.
lock it in here right now. We have offloaded Raheem Sterling, my previous choice
Whatever, man.
for PFA Player of the Year. We've gotten Jadon Sancho, Sanch back.
Okay.
He's been playing not too bad. Nicholas Jackson has been proving all the doubters wrong. He has all the assists, all the goals. This season he might actually be the golden boot. Haaland who?
He's not even top 3 in the top scorer.
Slowly. Calm.
Chris Wood is above him.
Calm. Chris Wood has been playing well, okay? So that's not a slight on Nicholas Jackson.
Fair enough.
Okay. The only question marks I have about Chelsea is the fact that they lack midfield control. Sometimes Enzo Fernandez kind of like confuses me as a player. I'm still not sure if he can control
Yeah, confuses me too.
midfield.
How is he 100 million?
Okay. I mean, let's not talk about that.
Let's set it straight. None of Chelsea's 100 mil players are worth 100 mil.
They spent 200 million on 2 midfielders and they still can't control the midfield.
Yeah. Arsenal's 100 mil player is worth 100.
Okay. Lavia has been playing not too bad though.
Yeah, good. He's worth his money.
Yeah, actually.
All 50 mil. All 50 mil was worth it.
Okay. In terms of our defense, also I think it's a bit suspect. Although.
Badia Shield looks like he doesn't play football.
That's true. But that's why we just don't play him. That's why we have so many players.
Axel Disasi looks like he's really passionate about the club.
He should be ex, bro.
Passionate is the only word to use. It's like calling who a nice guy again. Xabi Alonso.
Yeah, Xabi Alonso. Good guy.
Wait, what? No, son.
No.
Son, I called
yeah,
Son.
You just made out that joke.
Xabi Alonso is a nice guy though.
To be fair.
Like, he's not a nice guy.
Yeah, so
You know what I mean?
Chelsea has some question marks. That's why they won't be in the title fight. But I think their quality up top is just gonna show through lah. And I don't know, man. They just look so exciting, and it's only exciting to have Chelsea back in the top 4.
No.
It's exciting for me lah, at least.
Yeah, I know.
Then
It's been a
after
couple of
that,
seasons.
it's been a
Good
it's been a while.
on you, man.
Starving, bro. Man, starving.
Then we have Villa in 5th. I think the reason why I have this take is they're doing too well in the Champions League. They're gonna go forward in the Champions League too
That's
much.
the thing about teams doing too well.
I don't know.
No, as in they need to juggle between the league and the Champions League. So I think like the excessive games, they might lack the strength in depth in the future. Then perhaps John Duran can't be scoring every single shot he takes, right?
Well,
Although once I say that, he's gonna be like, okay. So Villa, I think they'll still do well, but I think they'll be happy with their season 5th and probably maybe a quarterfinals in the Champions League.
no. Round of 16.
Round of 16?
Yeah, round of 16.
Okay, but
Yeah.
I think they'll be happy with their
Round of
season.
16.
Consolidated their gains from last season. Unai Emery will still be good, will still be there. And I think that they can now start to kick on. It's just that Chelsea is better, Cole Palmer.
Sure.
Whew, cold. And then we have Spurs. I think Spurs will be 6.
Why did he emote?
Over.
He emoted. My man.
Let's go back to Spurs.
Sorry, yes, Spurs.
Yeah, Spurs will be 6.
Spurs 6 day. That's interesting.
Yeah, so I think I could have put a lot of different teams here. Nottingham Forest wasn't really in my mind, but Sif put up a pretty convincing argument.
As I always do.
Yeah,
Continue.
but I still don't accept. I think Brighton could be in with a shout, although I do think that a few of their wins could have easily been draws. And I think they are a shout lah, but I think Spurs might just have a bit more in them to get that 6th place. United, let's not even talk about it.
Fair.
I don't think they'll be in the top half of the table.
That's crazy.
I mean, to be fair, he's right now. He's
Yeah, he's
13.
actually
So
accurate. Yeah. It is accurate as of this record.
Yeah. Newcastle, I'm not so sure about them. You asked me 5 weeks ago, I would say Isak is gonna score like 20 goals this season.
Nobody should have asked you anything 5 weeks ago, to be fair.
To be fair, luckily we didn't have any takes from 5 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so Newcastle hasn't really been convincing me at all, even though Tonali's back. But beyond that, I don't know, man. I just don't see it with them. Yeah. Then I think that by process of elimination, it's just Spurs there. I'm still a big fan of Ange. I think what's his name? The guy who got racially abused, Brandon Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ever since he.
As in, he didn't get racially abused, he just got cyberbullied.
Oh, cyberbullied
Yeah,
on
cyberbullied.
Instagram.
Yeah, I don't think it
right?
was racially.
Yeah, so ever since he
deleted,
deleted Instagram, he's
Yeah.
been a revelation.
Yeah. So
So-
he stay off Instagram.
Yeah, just
What?
stay off Instagram, guys. Except if you're following, if we speak, we're in trouble. That's the only good thing to come out of Instagram.
Yeah, because like
or if you're
there's
following
a,
Shibilex.
there's a half chance that Brandon Johnson would like to follow you if you speak bot.
do you want our account? You can use our account, Brandon Johnson. We can just collab a post right now.
You should stop. You sound very delusional. You should.
Yeah, but beyond that, I think I don't know. I just okay. So I thought Vicario would be a good keeper, but he's 50-50. But at the very least, he's a better keeper than any of Chelsea's keepers.
Any like 10 of them.
Yeah, all 10 of them actually. To be fair.
Yeah. Then beyond that, hopefully Son comes back to form. And I'm mainly putting Spurs at 6 because I rate Ange lah.
Fair.
Yeah. So I think there'll be a 6, but I think 6 will be very far from 5th and 4th. 4th and 5th will be very close.
Okay.
And the top 3 will be very close.
Okay.
Yeah. So the 6 is a crapshoot for whoever you think could be there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fifth, any thoughts on his takes? Or maybe you can just go into your takes lah. Like
Thoughts lah, banger lah.
Well,
Fantastic.
honestly, I'm gonna say right off the bat, his bottom, his 4th, 5th, 6th is probably about the same as me.
Oh, okay.
Let's go.
So I'm gonna start from 6th to 1st.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with Spurs on 6th, Villa 5th, and Chelsea 4th.
Oh wow, that's exactly the same.
Yeah, it's exactly the same.
Nice.
Perfect takes.
Because birds of a feather.
Yeah, so, if I sing later copyright, because too close to the original song.
close to-
Even if you try and sing close to the original, they probably won't understand it. So it's okay.
What do they call you last time? Shibiriali.
What?
That was off the top of my head.
That was a banger.
Cut that out.
Universal Studios, you have my number. you need a singer, just call me.
Nah, delete
Yeah,
the
no, I
number.
doubt it.
Okay,
Yes,
sorry,
carry on, sorry about that.
sorry.
Alright, so 6, I think Spurs will be there, but it'll be like what he said, it'll be a crapshoot between like probably Forest, Brighton. These clubs will be fighting for 6 lah.
Imagine that. It's a crapshoot between Spurs, Forest, Brighton. United where?
Yeah, they won't be anywhere near. Like honestly,
in,
they've been so inconsistent.
If you are
Playing a
United,
right back
yeah.
at number 10.
The actual teams that were in the Champions League the last 2 seasons,
Yeah,
United
correct.
and Newcastle, not even mentioned.
Yeah, but that's how quickly I think football moves.
That's
They've
true.
been disappointing though this season.
That's the
I
thing.
Agree,
that's the thing.
agree.
I think both
Underperforming.
clubs, both clubs
Disappointing.
have been disappointing.
So yeah, 6 will be Spurs. Especially when Son comes back. At least when in the last game that he played before he got ruled out for injury again, he was playing closer to the middle, which I think suits his strengths more. They need his finishing up top more than on the wing. I don't know what he was doing on the wing half the time.
He's slowly getting back to that that Sonny Villa.
No, but see, they bought Dom Solanke for like a huge price
Oh,
tag
yeah,
because
yeah.
they want him to be the like permanent number 9, right? They
Yeah,
lost
yeah,
Harry
yeah,
Kane,
yeah,
he's
yeah.
the replacement. So like, the only way that you can accommodate Solanke and Son in the same team, which is Spurs' best 11, is with Son on off the wing.
Yeah.
He can be off the wing, but he still can be playing closer to the middle.
I think he just cannot be that traditional kind of winger because
Yeah.
he just gets a bit too peripheral for the game.
Yeah, I think so.
Because
too.
he's not really a winger. He's more like a
But-
scoring winger, right? Like,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's more impactful when he's nearer to the goal, in my opinion.
Okay.
So I think when he's back, he'll probably carry them to victory again once he's back from injury soon. Hopefully soon, because I just transferred him in for my FPL.
Oh my god.
I'm losing it. I just transferred him out for Saka.
Well deserved, well deserved.
So yeah, in 5th it's gonna be Villa, because I think they've been exceeding my expectations at the start of the season. Because I thought with the Champions League games that they will have, they're gonna be faltering in the league because of the amount of games that they're gonna have lah.
See,
But
my man has the exact same take
honestly,
as me.
they've
I
been
don't
doing pretty
see
well.
Why you are not insulting him?
I mean, it's a reasonable take. No?
Totally blank.
I just got a pat in the back.
Okay.
So
wait, no, I didn't insult you for any of your 4, 5, 6 takes. What?
Oh,
Yeah.
It was more like
It's just him,
I
lah.
said, lah.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much everything.
It's just Shibi.
Okay.
Shibiri Eilish.
So
Okay,
Villa
no,
are
yes,
now
everything.
top of the Champions League table with no goals conceded, I think, if I'm not wrong. And they've beaten Bayern also. And it's been, I don't know, they've been outperforming everyone's expectations of them. And I think they're going to continue all the way to the end of the season, but they're going to fall short of top 4 probably, just because of the quality of the top 4 teams.
Top 3 teams.
Yes, top 3 teams, but I think Chelsea is going to pip them to fourth spot.
Chelsea.
Simply because their depth, as much as we've been like making fun of how many players they bought this season, it's actually proving to be
Very
worth it,
useful,
to be
yeah.
honest,
Yeah,
and
man.
useful. Yeah, with the amount of fixtures that
Sancho.
have been coming up recently in the footballing world,
Mm-hmm.
they need that quality in depth more than ever, and they've had. I mean, they have Neto, Joao Felix, Nkunku. There's so many players that can fulfill different roles in that squad, right? Even if they miss out
Beautiful.
one player, like they can just fill in with another player that's gonna slot in seamlessly, lah. To be honest, and I think
Maresca bought.
yeah, Maresca ball has been pretty good this season. They have a style of play that's gonna actually stick with them throughout the season. I don't think his job is in any danger at all. So there's no like tension in the air, so which would help the squad lah. Because I think over the years, like the managerial position at Chelsea has always been like
That's true.
volatile
Yeah.
position. So I think this stability will help them in the long run as well.
So, surprising that you're talking about Chelsea's squad harmony because like right at the start of the season, remember he was freezing players out and things like that.
Yeah,
Like, people
yeah.
were like,
You're right.
is Chelsea shambolic? Like things like, will the atmosphere be too tense? But now, right now you see like unity and things like that.
Yeah, so I don't know what happened to all the like the other youth players that they bought. Like they just been shunned out and just forgotten. I
Maybe
guess,
let's
like-
not talk about that.
Yeah, it's easier to forget about them, right?
Yeah.
I think
If you're
even,
playing well, it's fine.
no, even if you are Maresca, right, it's easier for you not to think too much about like these 7 or 8 young players that we've signed based on potential, right? Because I have this squad of 25 proper players that have either Premier League experience, European experience, or whatever it may be, right? Yeah. So like, just work with the players that you've got.
Yeah.
True.
So yeah, those are going to be my 4, 5, 6. Brentford, Nottingham Forest. I think they've been doing pretty well. Brentford have been scoring like in every first minute. Okay, not every, but every time I watch them, they just score in the first minute. So like, I don't know what's going on with them. Forest have been exceeding my expectations. At the start of the season, I thought they were going to be in the relegation zone, not gonna lie, because I wasn't really convinced by their signings. But wow, Chris Wood.
You weren't familiar with Chris Wood's game.
Bro, I
No
doubted him.
one in the
No
world.
way.
I stand Chris
no
Wood.
way.
I stand Chris Wood.
No way do you predict Chris Wood
Bro,
to be-
no one in the world.
Check my FPL. I stand Chris Wood. I've had him since game week 2.
Ain't no way, bro.
Chris Wood. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, so
Big fan.
Nottingham Forest have been doing
Big
well.
fan.
Brighton have been okay as well. They've all had similar results in the past few games.
Yeah.
So they're going to be up there lah, for 4th, 5th, 6th position. So in the top 3, honestly, at the start of the season, it's going to be a close run between City, Arsenal, and Liverpool. But I think it's going to be Arsenal to win it. So at the start of the season, I thought it's going to be City.
Arsenal. Okay.
They were playing really well. They've had a more direct style of play because of their wingers, right? Their new wingers, Savinho, Doku. But honestly, right now, I feel like Savinho has reverted a little bit into a Jack Grealish kind of player. Because
Just
right now, I
keep
see him,
running
every time
into-
I watch him play, he dribbles past his player. He runs into another player blocking him because he's like double marked. Then he just passes back. So it's like, it's a repeated action, I feel.
The Jack really special.
Yeah. But it's apparent on both wings. I feel like it happens throughout the whole, like for the whole team in general. Like they just kind of recycle play in and around the box because of how opposition teams set up against them, right?
So
Just has
things-
to drop deep, block out Haaland, block out any space for him to get into any space to score a goal. Lah.
Yeah.
So I think in the past few games, teams have been figuring out how to
Play against
limit,
City, is it?
play against City and limit their chance creation, especially with De Bruyne out. Foden being shifted out to wing, it hasn't been.
Foden's
very
been a bit
impactful.
off form also, right?
Yeah,
If Foden's been absent, he's been injured, and then he's not been able to squeeze back into the team.
yeah.
Burn out, bro. He said he burn out.
There's been a lack of creativity on City's side, lah. And I think that has impacted Haaland's scoring form also recently. At the start of the season, I mean, he was scoring hat-tricks left and right, but right now, he hasn't had a lot of chances to work with in terms of big chances created. I think the underlying stat is that in the past 3 games, he hasn't had as many big chances created as the past 2 seasons. And although he has been more clinical in terms of finishing the big chances throughout this whole season in general,
Yeah.
but the past 3 games, with teams setting up more defensively against him and sitting back and covering the spaces, he hasn't had the chance to even have a big chance. So there's probably going to be a trend that's going to continue throughout the season, I feel. But I think he's still going to continue scoring and be top scorer because this is what he does.
Nico Jackson, bro.
Yeah, no. But I do think Nico Jackson is a good player.
I
My
don't.
man has good taste.
I like him. He's a maverick.
Carry on. Let's stop the backhanded compliment.
So I think Liverpool's going to do well also because of their style of play. Slot ball has been great. But the only concern I have is that in the first 8 games of the season, they've only been playing against average teams at best. They haven't had. I don't think they've had any matches against the top
Top half, right? is
half of the table.
Other than Nottingham Forest.
Don't forget
other than
Chelsea.
Forest.
Oh. Hey, yes, yeah.
Oh yeah, they play against Chelsea.
Yes.
Just play against Chelsea.
And they
You're
beat
right.
And they beat Chelsea.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
did.
yeah.
So
Oh,
they
dude, my
passed
take is perfect.
their big test so far.
Hey, what?
No, think about it. Both of you predicted Chelsea to be a top 6 team, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a significant enough
I agree,
challenge.
I agree.
Is it the test? No, it's not.
No,
But
it is the test.
So now you change just because of Chelsea.
I predicted Liverpool gonna win.
But I don't think they've had enough opportunities to test out their true quality
Okay,
in that sense
Sure.
against better teams lah. But in the teams that they have played against, in the games they have played against better teams like Forest and Chelsea, they conceded against Chelsea, I think.
yes, they did.
Right?
They
And
did.
they lost against Forest.
Yeah.
The other games they've kept the clean sheet, and right now they have the best defense in the league. They've only conceded 3 goals,
Yep.
which is amazing. But yeah, I mean, up to now we haven't seen like them go up against very high quality opposition. Maybe we'll see tonight. Tonight is Arsenal Liverpool, so we shall see.
The bar is set very high for high quality opposition. Arsenal. Everything below, Okay.
I mean, they haven't
Not
played
wrong
against
lah,
City,
not wrong,
Villa, these kind of teams.
They haven't played the best 4 teams in the league. Period.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Okay. Enough.
Can't win with Chelsea. Simply cannot win. Sorry, Fif. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Carry
Yeah.
on.
So in Arsenal, at the start of the season, I didn't know if they would have enough quality in depth also to make it all the way to the Premier League title. But in the games I've watched them, I guess the only games where they dropped points were in the games where we had a red card, and in all those games, those red cards have been doubtful. It hasn't
Controversial,
really been
highly
very
contentious.
controversial.
Yeah.
So I feel like, yes, even though there's been 3 red cards in 8 games, none of it have been very clear-cut red cards for me. It's not really a case of us not having discipline, because all of these cases of red cards have been are fouls that are done by other opposition teams.
Okay,
It's not
sure.
it's not just isolated to us.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time when the red card happens, the next game another team does the same thing and like nothing happens with them. So like I don't really understand the refereeing at this point.
If you speak, you're in trouble.
Honestly, it is lah. But in the other games where we don't have any red cards, where we've had actual 11v11 game,
Yep.
we've won all those games lah. And I think even though at the start of the season I thought maybe since we didn't sign a striker, maybe we don't have enough quality in that position to kind of fire us to the championship, right?
True.
But it feels like this season we found a bit more of a balance in terms of a defensive solidarity plus being able to be expensive in our play. I feel like in the games where we didn't have any like of those controversial red cards, we haven't been like very defensive also. I think we've been resolute, yes, but it's not really a defensive style of play. It's just
Okay.
been very controlling in the game itself. So I think especially when you go on throughout the season, right, these red cards is just going to motivate them to do even better, to be honest. I don't think it's going to shoot them down at all, especially when it comes to the crunch time lah. And right now, I feel like we dropped points quite a bit, right? In the first 8 games of the season,
Yeah.
like how City usually does at the start of the season, they drop a lot of points.
They're doing the City style.
They're doing a City style, and I feel like
20 games in a row.
maybe at the end of the season we'll never know. They have a good run and they'll continue. But then again, I just saw City's fixtures at the end of the season. It's pretty favourable for them also lah. So City might also have like a good run.
So
of
we're gonna
fixtures
have
at the
3
end.
teams at 99 points again.
That would be
So,
fun.
Honestly, I think this season will be very close between these 3 teams. It's quite hard to predict a winner at this point.
Yeah.
Since it's only 8
But
games
that's our job, my man.
Yeah, so it's only fair that we all have different takes lah.
That's
so
true.
I'm gonna say
Finally,
Arsenal.
though.
Yeah.
All of us with different takes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna say Arsenal, City, Liverpool.
Okay. Just to
Very
push
nice.
back a little bit on you two Arsenal fans a bit,
Uh-huh.
where do you think
It's
they will
not us
get?
versus you again, by the way. But yeah, go ahead.
No, but I was just thinking like for Arsenal,
Yeah.
where do you think they will get their goals from? Like, do we think like they can have a consistent source of goals from to really fight in the title race?
I'll let Afif take this one.
Yeah, we do. I mean, we don't just only rely on open play goals, right? But now we also rely on set piece goals, which is I
But
think
is that a reliable? I mean, Chelsea. used
Given
to
that
do
it's
it, right?
Arsenal, right? I think it's reliable.
That's
I-
true.
actually-
We've
that's
actually scored the
I,
most.
I feel like set piece goals are more reliable than open play goals, no? Because set piece goals are kind of in
Rehearsed.
control. Yeah, it's rehearsed. It's the same format every time, but open play goals are more on the fly.
It's dynamic.
Yeah, it's dynamic lah. And it depends on the creativity of the players at the point in time.
As
but
well as the
like-
opposition that you're playing up against
Yeah.
and tactics.
But
which
even
is
if you're
what-
playing badly, you
Yeah.
just remember what you have to do in that particular set piece.
Yeah.
You're going to rehearse it again and again, right?
Yeah.
When you pull it off in the game time, it's just going to happen again. Then there's no like
So
variation.
Saliba
there.
double digits this season.
double digit red cards. or-
Gabriel.
But no, I want to add on to what Afif said, right?
Yeah.
And I'll say that I think Arsenal have the most diverse source of goals. I think, like, given that we don't have an out-and-out number 9,
Yeah.
I think Kai Havertz does his fair share in
Yes,
terms of
Kai
goal
Havertz,
scoring.
my
We
man
have
himself.
Bukayo Saka. We have Gabriel, who contributes offensively from the back as well, right? And Yeah, I mean, I think the goals will be shared. We won't have an Erling Haaland because clearly we've decided not to spend on an Erling Haaland. But yeah, I think it'll be shared.
Will they buy a striker in Jan?
I hope so.
If the opportunity comes, I think we will. But I think it depends on how this next 15 games till December comes along.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense. I think it'll be a fantastic title race.
Yeah.
But I think equally as good might actually be the relegation battle,
Cool.
which we'll be discussing soon. And we are back for If We Speak, We're in Trouble, episode 6. And now, after talking about the top 6, we're going to go to the relegation battle, the bottom 3. Perhaps a little bit more different, perhaps. A bit more variation here.
Okay.
Do you think so?
We're just gonna go in reverse order, are we?
Oh, we are going to go in reverse order.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So, Fifth is going to begin first. Mr. Fifth?
All right.
Take it away.
So I think my bottom 3 is gonna be the 3 teams which were promoted. So, which is Southampton, Ipswich, and Leicester.
Oh wow. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So
Same like last season, the promoted.
The bottom,
Yeah.
The bottom three.
the championship tree go down lah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
it's kind of tough to reach that same quality
Okay,
straight
thoughts?
away. But okay, so honestly, at the start of the season, I thought Forest were gonna be there, but
Chris
Wood.
Well, luckily we never do
My
our episode at the start of the season.
yeah, you're right. I've been flamed, man.
We will all be here.
I mean, I don't know about
My
it, but
gosh.
anyways.
Yeah.
Southampton are just I feel like they're a bit too positive.
They're too ambitious
Too
for their own good.
ambitious,
Yeah.
They're not really pragmatic enough. Pragmatic enough.
ambition ratio is like
It's way off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
like
skewed.
Russell Martin is only like one style of play. It doesn't really divert from it. You know, he's just attacking, but it hasn't really come off. And Ramsdale,
There's not much to be said about Ramsdale.
yeah,
passion much.
back in the relegation club zone and showing his true form.
He's being even more exposed now, given that he's not at like a big team.
Yeah.
So
Which
I
is
think
kinda
he's
sad.
Sheffield United, Ramsdale is back.
more erratic than ever. But yeah,
More saves, more mistakes.
So yeah, I think Southampton are going to be bottom.
They're going back down.
Simply put, defensively, I don't think they're anywhere near it lah. Second from the bottom is going to be Ipswich. I had hope for them at the start of the season because I watched the games against Liverpool and I think they played pretty well considering everything.
Yeah, they did play well in the game.
Yeah, they really impressed me. But I feel like maybe they just don't have enough quality lah in that sense. And like in this Premier League especially, I feel like it's reverting back to like individualism more than just team play. Like we are relying more on player quality more than just
Systems,
tactics and
is it?
systems. Yeah.
Mr. No Tactics right here.
yeah. The tactics is a hoax.
He's a myth.
Tactics are overrated.
He's an urban legend.
He's consistent at least.
Yeah.
So yeah, Ipswich are gonna be second from bottom for me.
Mhm.
Then Leicester. Simply by the process of elimination lah. I don't think they're like horrendous or terrible. To
But
say.
the other two horrendous and terrible.
They're what?
What? The other two?
Only Southampton lah. Ipswich are okay.
Yeah.
Like the rest of the teams in the division, I feel they are all mid-table teams, and they're all going to be fighting for that mid-table position, like Wolves, West Ham, Everton, United,
United, what?
Bournemouth, Fulham. They're all going to be there, you know. And I don't think they are anywhere bad enough to be in the relegation zone. So they've had decent signings over this summer window, enough to propel them out of the relegation zone also. So I think most people predicted Everton to be down in the relegation zone. And I mean I can see why. Defensively they aren't great. But I think offensively they have I think recently they've shown that they still can produce their output lah. Dwight McNeil has been great for them.
Yes.
I've been surprised.
Yes.
Yeah,
He feels like a proper Barclays player.
Yeah,
I just
he
got
is.
that vibe from him, man. Like,
I wouldn't say Barclays player, but
Really?
as in like I think he's good where he is right now.
Yeah.
Because he was from Burnley previously, right?
Yeah,
Right,
yeah. Yeah, I mean he's a talisman for them. West Ham, they haven't really clicked into gear yet, I feel.
West Ham have fallen
Yeah,
very,
they've
very
fallen.
far. Like since they won the Europa Conference League, it's been all downhill for them.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
kudos will be back
Since they
soon.
lost Rice lah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, West Ham have made good signings in the summer transfer window, so I don't really understand what's going on.
No, but it's
But-
always a case of like they make like good signings, right? It looks good on paper, right? But
True.
it's never, it doesn't materialize in the games. Like
Yeah.
you don't see that quality come through.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't know. Yeah, it's a bit sad, but yeah.
I mean, as of now, Wolves and Crystal Palace are in the relegation zone.
Yeah.
Wolves, I think, have just been unlucky. Their opening fixtures have been terrible.
Okay.
It's been so difficult for them. And in those games, it's quite close. It's quite a close game actually. They haven't really been blown apart by the opposition.
Yep.
Except for Cole Palmer, of course.
But even then, they still scored like
Two goals.
yeah. So it's
No
I
thanks
don't
to
think
Chelsea's
they'll be-
defense.
But yeah, it is Chelsea defense.
So moving forward, even though they've had like the worst start to the season and they've had the most goals conceded so far,
Yeah.
but I don't think this will continue throughout the season lah. I don't think they play particularly badly also.
Okay.
They're not bad, like honestly.
Yeah.
The
Wolves, they're not
They're
bad.
going to pick up lah. Yeah, Wolves, they're not bad.
They are bad.
And Crystal Palace also have been like underperforming a bit
Mm.
and unlucky. I feel like Eze has been quite unlucky. He's had quite a couple of good chances. He has good XG also. Been creating good chances.
XG merchant.
I mean XG man. So yeah, he's hit the woodwork every time I see him play lah. So he's damn unlucky.
Yeah, but he passed the eye test lah.
Pass I there.
Your eye test is all that matters.
I wear specs.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think those are some pretty decent takes. So just to recap, your bottom three is
Southampton, Ipswich, Leicester.
Leicester. So it is the promoted teams.
Mm-mm.
Alright. Similar to last season lah. Okay. Do you want to go next or me?
No, you can go ahead, bro.
Okay. So for me, we share a pretty similar. We share the same bottom two. Agreed. Southampton just not good enough for the league. Once Pep Guardiola praises you after he beats you, means you're
He's
not
curtain,
rated as
yeah.
a manager.
That's about it lah.
That's about it.
That's
Legit.
about
After last night, Russell Martin
It's
got praised
it's
like,
the
oh, good approach. Once you get a good approach from Pep, right, you know you're screwed lah.
It's the baggro, right?
Yeah,
it's
it's like-
it's the backhanded insult.
Yeah. If Pep wants to fight you, then you know you're rated.
Yeah.
But once he starts to praise you, unless you're
Once
Jurgen
he no
Klopp,
longer regards you
yeah,
as a
yeah,
threat,
as a
right? Like you're
competitor,
finished. Like,
yeah,
that's about it.
you're finished.
Back down you go.
So Southampton, you might as well just go back to the championship. You go.
Pack your bags, pack your
There's
bags.
no point there.
Start
We can stop there. Okay, so that one, 100% down. Ipswich, I'll give a 75%, mainly because I actually rate their manager. I think their manager is pretty decent.
Who's their manager?
McKenna.
Okay.
I know you thought you had me on the spot there, but
Does he know the first name?
Trust me.
Does he know the first name?
What's the first name?
Declan.
Declan McKenna.
Cut
Wait,
it out.
wait.
Cut it out.
You have the laptop on. You have the laptop on.
Declan McKenna.
Okay, all of you all see, the manager of Ipswich is Declan McKenna.
Lunin and Buka all over again.
That's the Lunin incident again.
Okay, back to the tape.
Okay.
Scott,
And
maybe.
so far, Scott.
Yeah, it's Scott
Okay,
McKenna.
but not too bad lah.
Yeah, Declan and Scott are pretty much the same.
I think
Yeah.
yeah, I think Ipswich actually played decently. Okay, the only thing is that I don't think the thing is like they've scored a decent amount of goals.
Okay.
Considered too much though, and I just don't think that they have enough quality to stay up across the season. I think that they will have a few upsets, and they'll be banging for the fans. Like the fans will love their season because they will give it a go.
Yeah.
I think Southampton fans will just suffer, but yeah. So,
Shakes.
but I think Ipswich will just go down. But I think they'll consolidate for next season the championship. I think Leicester will stay up comfortably. They every game that they've played has been close. So I think as long as you can keep games close,
You've always got a chance.
you've always got a chance. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think Leicester will stay mid-table-ish. I think the teams that better be careful, Everton, Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace has looked absolute. I don't know, man. Last season, the second half of the season, right? Everybody's like, oh, Crystal Palace is the next big thing, right? They had a really good end to the season, right? What's the manager's name again? Let me just caveat. Glacier, right?
Nope, Glasner.
Glasner. Okay.
Yeah.
Close enough, bro. Yeah. So he was rated so highly now, but seems like he's odds on to be the first one sacked. Actually, perhaps.
Is he really?
I mean, Crystal Palace has been looking
Atrocious, lah.
a bit dreadful, right? The games have been dreadful. I think the games have been close. They've been losing. Afif is right. Like it's a bit unlucky.
Okay.
But the fact of the matter is, they do look like they need to buck up quite a bit.
Yeah,
I have
yeah,
a question.
Yeah.
Is it in any way related to Olise's departure?
100%. Olise is the kind of player that takes the game by the scruff of the neck.
Okay.
And he makes things happen. So I think without him, the rest of Palace actually becomes worse.
It's like he was always their standout player, right?
Yeah,
So like
not-
if you take the
if-
best player out of like a very mid team,
Yeah.
they become dangerously
Yeah,
close
yeah.
to the bottom.
Yeah.
Was he really the best player?
I think so. I think
You don't
he's
think
better-
Michael Olise is the best
I
player
think he's
in Crystal
better than
Palace last season?
Eze and Zaha.
I think it was in between last season lah. It
Yeah.
was between those three lah, Mateta, Eze and Olise.
Yeah,
I think if
I don't
anything,
think he
right?
was a standout player, like a star player.
I don't think he was a star,
He's
but I
one of their best
definitely think
players,
he's the best there because I mean, with his departure, you can see what Crystal Palace have been left with. You know what I mean?
I think like Olise like takes charge of the game. He might not always do it the best, but I think like he will never shy away from taking responsibility in the game. So I think that is the thing that kind of pushes a team like Crystal Palace from being too close to the bottom to actually somewhere close to upper mid table ish
Upper mid table.
kind of level. I mean, Crystal Palace is always Crystal Palace. They're always 12, right? More or less. But this season, it seems like they might not be there. Okay, but I still think that they will stay up because I think they'll have a new manager bounce coming soon.
Wow.
Wow.
Big shout, but okay.
Yeah.
Big
Then
shout.
so actually my 18th, the one that's gonna be relegated. I don't know, man. Everton just they cannot be staying up all the time.
Sean
They
Dyche,
are,
bro.
they are giving me the Wigan
Come
vibe,
on.
like
Eventually,
it has to go down.
Yeah, like their time will
even though
come.
they have never gone down, I think ever in the whole first division since they were
Oh, is it?
created. I think so. Yeah.
Wow.
You know they haven't lost their last 5 games.
No, I just don't buy it. Like for me, it's a vibe thing. Everton just gives me the vibe of a team that's gonna go down.
Okay.
Fair.
You are entitled to that thing.
Yeah. So that is more of a vibes thing. I agree. Dwight McNeil looks pretty decent. I don't know, man. I just think that Everton, they can't do it every season, can they?
Yeah, they're gonna do it now. they're gonna make top 4
Watch as Everton goes on a 5-game winning run
straight away.
Yeah, so Southampton, Ipswich, Everton, that's mine.
Okay. Thank you, Shibi. I'm not gonna take too long here. I feel like both of you have given quite an in-depth assessment of those struggling at the bottom.
Yeah.
For me, Southampton are gonna go down for sure. So that's a commonality.
We are just spanking Southampton.
As in,
no.
no, but there's nothing to
So
show
it's bad,
for
bro.
them. Like literally nothing
Yeah.
from them, right? So Southampton
That's
to go
why
down.
Pep, they need to praise them.
Correct. That's like their main takeaway from the season. Like,
Yeah.
oh, they spent a season here. Pep complimented them once, and
Okay.
then yeah, back down they go. I believe that Wolves also have not recorded a single win yet this season. I know their fixtures have been tough, but it's difficult. I think if you start the season off very poorly, right, you put yourself in quite a bad position, and I think Wolves will go down. Unfortunately, I know that's a bit different from the two of them.
I think that's a good take though.
Yeah.
Their defense has been horrendous.
It has
right?
been. It has been horrendous. Yeah. And so for me, between the last slot for relegation was between Crystal Palace and Ipswich. And I'm going to go a bit left field again. I love the way the Ipswich play, and I'm going to root for them this season. I like what Leif Davis is doing from fullback. I think he's very positive, and he's like a Andy Robertson
Yes.
regen
Yeah,
of
yeah.
sorts.
I like Leif Davis.
I like Liam Delap. He's a young striker. I think came from the academy at Manchester
Too
City.
bad he can't throw like his father.
Is his father, is it?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
As in,
Oh,
I
yeah.
always thought it was the same
Yeah,
because
yeah,
the same
yeah,
surname.
yeah.
Yeah. But no, I really like how confident he is for a player that young,
Yeah.
and I think that he can be a difference maker for Ipswich. And I think like the
Sure.
the team in general, I think have the ingredients to punch above their weight, give their fans a good show this season,
Yeah.
and hopefully survive.
Yeah. I
So-
think you're right. A striker
they
is
survive.
important for a team like that, right? Like those few points that will
Correct,
edge
correct.
them.
Yeah,
over.
yeah.
Correct. Like when they play against the other teams in the bottom, right?
Yeah.
Like I think that Delap can be a difference maker for them.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, that means right, Crystal Palace is the team that is going to be 18th for me and going to go down. I think it's really really sad because they did have an absolute banger end to last
Yeah,
season,
exactly, right?
but they've just not been able to put anything consistent or cohesive together this season. And if they don't fix it soon, they are going
It
to
might
find
be too late.
it might be too late. It might be too late, you know. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, like we spoke about Odyssey and things like that. So yeah, it remains to be seen how Crystal Palace bounce back and respond. So so yeah, it's Crystal Palace, Wolves, and Southampton for me.
Okay, so just to recap, all of us are hating on Southampton.
Yes, yeah, that's the
Yeah,
that's the
that's the
summary.
moral of the story.
That's the
If
moral of
nothing else, just remember Southampton, you're definitely going down. Sorry about it, but Pep praised you, you're screwed.
Yep.
It's done.
It's done. And with that, we'll then move on to the last part of our pod. Catch you in a bit. And we're back for the final portion of the show. Just a little bit more from us here. I just want to end off with probably the hottest question, because we are a show about hot takes, controversial takes. I want to ask you guys, okay? At the start of the season, we like to talk a little bit about managers. We talked a bit at the start, and now we're going to end off about a little question about the managers. Who do we think is going to get sacked first? And I want Mr. Abang Sip. Let your mind think a bit. Fifth, let your mind think a bit. I can start first.
Okay,
Yeah,
you
you
can
can go
Yeah, I
finish,
can
yeah.
start first. So actually, that's just to lead on a bit to what I said in the previous portion.
Yeah.
The new manager bounce is going to come for Crystal Palace, and it's going to come soon.
Okay.
In fact, by the time you're listening to this pod, they might need a new manager already.
That's crazy.
I think that Glasner,
First manager to go.
first manager to go. I was debating between him, Eric Ten Hag, and actually Eddie Howe, not necessarily sacked, but leaving to go to get an England job.
Oh, but
Because Tuchel took it already,
yeah.
I think he will stay at Newcastle. Although I do think that Newcastle might be
In the market for a new manager?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a feeling.
Depending on how this season goes, I don't think it's super urgent for Newcastle.
Yeah.
But like, if they are if they are serious about pushing up to top 6, they might have to look. For
Yeah, I think they are really putting their feelers out there. I just have a feeling that
probably.
Eddie Howe is just not that
Like
that
He
guy.
has served the club very well for where they've been in the past 2 years, but he will only be able to take them so far.
Yeah.
That might be the sensing.
Yeah, so I think we have a similar sensing here. So
Okay.
so for me, I think it's unfortunate because like after the end of last season, I thought Glasner's gonna bring Crystal Palace to stop being Crystal Palace, stop finishing 12, and start to fight a bit at the top. But I think this season it just hasn't been working out for them. Perhaps it's due to luck, like Fifth said, because actually, if you look at their goal difference, things have been close generally game to game. But I think losing just breeds more and more losing, and like with a run like that, with the atmosphere in the club like that, and if no one steps up, if Eze doesn't step up, if Mateta doesn't step up, it might be a bit tough for Crystal Palace, and they might just need a fresh manager once again.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. So that is my take. So anyone else? Ready?
I can go next. I feel like there's I don't think this is a very high likelihood, right? But I feel like a club like Manchester United,
Yes.
if they are serious about changing their fortunes and moving more significantly in the right direction as a club, right, that has so much history, tradition and legacy, I don't think Eric Ten Hag is the man for the job. I don't think there needs to be any more time or grace period given to him, because more than enough has been invested in his direction, and if anything, there's been a lack of direction, a lack of consistency in the results, performance, and player selection.
True.
And on top of that, I think just a sheer lack of responsibility from his end in terms of being the manager and like taking responsibility for how the team plays and how he manages those players. Yeah, I feel like there are a lot of good players there that are not being given the opportunity. Players like, I think like Amad Diallo, I think they should be playing a lot more than they have been. I think players like Garnacho is not starting for United at the moment, which is insane.
That's bad for my FPL team, by the way. Absolutely horrendous.
Why do you have Garnacho
behavior.
inside, bro?
Huh?
You have Garnacho inside.
Yeah, because
I mean,
why?
it's-
He scores a few for United.
But
And he's pretty
United-
cheap.
But United.
I mean,
Okay, we'll not go into the FPL debate
That's
side
why
of-
he's. Oh no,
No, I'm not too bad.
last.
I'm
He's not
last,
bad.
he's not
He's
last.
I'm mid-table.
Yeah, so I feel like I'm sorry, I don't think he has a plan, and I really hope for United fans' sake that he doesn't stay at the club much longer, because I think United can do a lot better with the resources that they have.
But as Chelsea and Arsenal fans, please stay as long as you want. Sign that contract, my man.
Sign the
Go
thing.
for it. No, but in all honesty, right, I actually that's a great shout, and I think one thing that you want to ask about any manager is like, if you're a good manager, results is one thing, but you want to see which players actually improve under you. And I think like I don't know, did anybody actually improve under Ten Hag? That's the thing, right? Everyone seems to go to crap.
Yeah, I mean, I cannot think of anybody that has
Off the
kind
top of your head,
Yeah,
right?
off the top of my head. So
Yep.
yeah, there's not much to say about
Yeah,
that.
then I think agree.
Yeah, so
Just
that's my take.
fifth, the two most obvious ones have already been taken. So,
No,
No,
you
so-
can.
but you
agree.
can you can still use ours.
No, so I had three managers in mind, right?
Okay.
One of it is Glasner at Crystal Palace, Ten Hag at United, and the last one would be Lopetegui at West Ham.
Oh,
So
yeah.
honestly, I feel
Ideal.
like the one that would be sacked is a manager that is at a decently sized club and is not doing well enough with those resources, more than those clubs that are actually struggling, lah.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the financial side of it will matter more to the board more than anything
Understandable.
else. So, for example, in terms of like West Ham, in the summer they spend quite a bit on new signings that
Yes.
are supposed to hit the ground running. They are established players already. They're not like youngsters that like are unknown, you know. So, but they haven't really been doing well this season, and I feel like the players that they have, they're not really utilizing them to their fullest potential, lah. So, I think he's a candidate that might get sacked
True.
somewhere in this season if they
True,
continue
true,
this
true,
run of
true.
form.
Agree.
Second would be obviously Ten Hag at United because it's a big club. They shouldn't be here, lah. They shouldn't be at 13th. They have a huge amount of resources, and the fact of the matter is they're not really utilizing it well at all.
Yeah.
The players that they buy are not really performing as well.
Getting worse under him.
Yeah, I mean, there's rumors of Xerxes wanting to go back to Italy or something.
Oh, that's
So,
crazy.
That's
wild.
ridiculous,
It's been
bro.
how long?
so
Shit.
yeah, but honestly, I think the first manager to be sacked would be Ten Hag, lah. I think he's had enough chances already throughout the past few seasons to kind of set a direction or at least have a clear game plan in terms of where he wants the club to be. But in all the games like so far, there hasn't really been a clear sense of direction. Every time there's a presser, I feel like he just kind of has a delusional take on like where his team is at.
Yeah.
He
Great for the
kinda-
memes though.
He kind of deflects from where the team is actually at, lah, in terms of
Yeah.
the current level, right? With all the like saying that like, oh, he won a few trophies already,
Yeah.
even though their club position is like 10th or something, which doesn't make sense to me, lah. I mean,
It's United, right? Like,
to me, the real progress of a club is where you are in
Yeah.
the league position because it's a consistent basis, ma.
sure.
So, yeah, so I think unfortunately the first manager to be sacked would be Ten Hag, lah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would agree with you guys. It's just the fact that United hasn't done it yet. That's why I chose another manager instead.
That's
of,
fair.
it's more like it's not. It's a United problem rather than a.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we'll
Okay.
see. We'll see.
Yeah. So I think we made Afif basically summarized it for us.
Very nice.
He chose 3 great people, and then he probably chose the one most deserving for the sack right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But let's not. So with that will be the end of our pod. Let's not end it with too much of a negative note. In fact, we want to tell you guys about a fantastic thing, our own FPL league.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Right. So I'm sure a lot of you guys have already followed, have already played. So don't forget to make the changes to your team. Make sure to put Nicholas Jackson and Cole Palmer in. Fantastic players. Actually, don't do that. Let me win. Let me hot them. Yeah. So don't forget, play our FPL. Follow us on our socials at If We Speak. We're in trouble across basically all our platforms: Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, and yeah, we'll hope to see you soon next time. Bye bye.
Ciao.